The train inhales us all at once, a metal throat swallowing every scattered morning, into this narrow jolting tunnel where shoulders touch by accident and eyes learn to hover above reflections in the smudged glass, and I stand swaying, hand wrapped around a cold strap, heart already braced for the usual scraping rush of other people's noise. But today the first notes slide into my ears, warm water. Your old favorite song spilling from small black speakers, wrapping itself around the raw parts of my mind before the crowd can reach them, and suddenly the carriage blurs at the edges, voices dimming as if someone had mislaid a soft invisible layer between their words and my skin. So insults, complaints, tired sighs, all arrive muted, changed into something almost bearable. And I remember how you used to say that music was the only coat that fit you right, even in the hottest months, a weightless second skin you could shrug on whenever the world grew too sharp. And now I understand, pressed among strangers who never learned how to move gently, yet failing to wound me, because this simple looping melody keeps flowing, covering my nerves in patient patterns, especially when that familiar chord progression climbs towards the small chorus we loved, the one that always felt like a promise being repeated until it turned true. And as the train hurtles through another dark section of track, overhead lights flicker and I close my eyes and let the rhythm rock me. A cradle built of bass and trembling strings, and in that borrowed cocoon I become briefly untouchable, not by pulling away, but by letting this quiet armor breathe between me and the world, until the doors slide open and I can step out, still home. The street is slick with neon and leftover thunder, every passing car pulling a long liquid echo through the gutter, where my reflection keeps breaking, mending, breaking again, and my coat hangs open like a half-drawn curtain, edges damp, brushing my thighs as I walk too slowly home, letting the drizzle rewrite my outline in a softer script than the one I carried all day across crowded rooms and humming screams, where my voice kept hitting metal, bright and brittle, never quite landing where it meant to, and here under this timid weather
a gentler rhythm I was hiding, that quieter drum behind my ribs that never fit the tempo of fluorescent hours. And I think of you in some other part of the city, maybe tilting your face up to the same reluctant sky, maybe staying inside and watching the drops race down your window, betting silently on which one will reach the torn rubber edge first, like we used to, when everything we owned could fit inside a single narrow weekend. And the memory draws a veil over the harsher reels of us, the slammed doors, the echoed names, all blurred now behind this fine gray curtain that the evening pulls between me and my own cruelty. So when the wind lifts the wet hair from my mouth, I taste something almost clean. Not forgiveness, not yet, but the first faint wash of it, thin and persistent. As this drizzle that refuses to turn dramatic, and by the time I reach my building, key cold between my fingers, I realize the storm. Has been folding itself into a quiet inside lane all along, circling softly, waiting for me to step out of the way.
By the time the door clicks softly instead of slamming, the storm has already spent itself, leaving behind the living room that looks almost unchanged. A couch slightly crooked, a glass sweating on the table, the faint outline of our anger still hanging in the air, like chalk dust suspended in late light. And yet something essential has shifted, some brittle scaffolding in my chest, collapsing without sound as a different kind of stillness seeps in, not the frozen, breathless quiet of punishment, but a warmer, breathing pause that settles over every overturned thought, smoothing them into softer shapes I can finally pick up without cutting my fingers. And I watch you across this new fragile distance, your face no longer sharpened by defense, features relaxing one by one like muscles remembering their original purpose, until the person I first loved peeks through the ruins of the moment, shy but present, and I feel an answering loop
And when I finally speak, my voice arrives wrapped in something gentler than pride, carrying no armor, only the plain admission of my own smallness. My fear, my failure to hold you carefully when it matters, and the room does not recoil. Instead it leans closer, walls absorbing the confession with the quiet generosity of old fabric taking on another crease. And you step forward, not all the way, just enough to let your shadow reach mine. On the faded rug, merging in a narrow, uncertain line. And in that modest overlap, I feel the first delicate threads of something kinder, weaving through the wreckage, light and flexible, where our old sharpness once stood, promising without spectacle a softer way to stay. The shoreline listens without interrupting, a long patient ear pressed flat, where the land is cracked and sloped toward the endless breathing body that never seems to sleep. And I stand at its edge when my old unhealed stories burning under the skin, each one a small angry ember I have carried too far, too long, until my arms forgot how to open. But the water keeps coming in slow, deliberate folds that climb my ankles then retreat, leaving only a thin shimmering film behind, a cool transparent bandage tying the gritty sand to my tired feet. And with every turning wave, the sting fades a little, not erased, not absorbed, just less sharp, as if the ocean is whispering that pain can be diluted without being denied, that grief can be cradled in something larger than itself until it finally remembers how to breathe. And I watch the horizon wear a soft bruise of color as the sky trades its harsh midday glare for a gentler bruised glow, lavender and rust sinking into each other like apologies that no longer need names. And for the first time in months I let myself imagine a version of me who has put the old knives down, who lets the steady tide wash over the wound without forcing it to close too quickly, who trusts that a thin moving veil of comfort can be enough for now, as the salt dries on my calves, tightening the skin with a faint crackle and pull. I feel strangely lighter, as though the water has taken a careful share of what I brought, leaving behind a quieter ache. I can finally carry me without dropping. The clock glows stubborn in the corner, numbers changing with the slow confidence of something that has never lost a fight. And the fan breathes its endless circle above us, folding the dark into uneven layers of moving air that lift, fall, lift again over your bare back where the sheet has abandoned you. Tangle somewhere near your knees, and I lie awake in the warm hollow of your curve, counting the tiny currents that travel from the open window to the hollow of your spine, each one a small messenger, smoothing the heat of the day into something almost cool, almost kind. And I listen to the way your breath keeps choosing to return, soft and careless, unbothered by the storms that pace inside my ribcage. And I let that sound cover my louder thoughts, pulling a gauze over the parade of worries that usually march so bright behind my eyes at this hour. Bills and endings and unspoken fears, slowly losing their hard edges as the minutes slip by like fabric between careful fingers. And somewhere between one blink and the next, the boundary between our bodies grows less certain. The space the air must cross to find your lips or mine, shrinking beneath the growing weight of this shared humming heat, until the room feels like a single breathing creature that has decided generously not to break us tonight. And though sleep still hovers just out of reach, I find a quieter place inside its shadow, resting in the narrow seam between desire and exhaustion, where time itself seems to lie down beside us, finally folding its sharp picking under the soft, slow rhythm of your chest. Your touch is gone from my body, but not quite, it lingers like a faint, invisible garment, seems tracing the places your hand lines once mapped with the patience of cartographers who knew the land would soon be closed. And I move through my day, laid in that ghostly fabric, answering emails, standing in line, smiling on cue, while beneath my clothes there is another secret surface where the air still remembers your temperature, where every breeze feels filtered through the soft echo of your palms. And I keep thinking that time should have stripped this away by now, should have peeled back the thin, persistent shimmer you left behind. Yet every night when the room grows quiet and the hum of distant traffic pulls a low horizon around the bed, I feel it settle again. A weightless shawl of recollection draped over my shoulders, smoothing the jagged outlines of our ending, hiding the stains without pretending they were never there. And I do not know if this is healing or just a more elegant form of ache. This way the hurt no longer pierces, but raps, no longer shouts, but hums along the edges of my breathing. And sometimes in the half-sleep, where dreams borrow from the day, I roll toward the empty side and swear I feel that softness press back for a second. A phantom reply that is kind enough to fade before I can reach for it, leaving only the gentler after image. And I tell myself that one day even this second skin will slip, puddling at my feet like something I no longer need. But for now I wear it quietly, letting it turn the harshness of the past into something I can touch without bleeding. The first light slips in quietly, not through the front window where the world expects it, but around the edges of the cheap, thin curtain you hung with crooked nails last spring, turning its tired fabric into a soft, uneven halo that pools on your bare shoulders as you sleep, one arm exiled from the sheets, fingers loosely curled like they were about to reach for something. And forgotten, I lie very still beside you, watching the day learn our shapes without touch. reaching us directly. Every beam filtered, slowed, made tender by that imperfect clock. So even the dust dares to dance in it. Tiny bodies rising, falling in a rhythm that feels almost like music. And I remember all the mornings they used to slam into me. Alarms shrieking, screens flaring, news screaming, new ways to be afraid, until my own skin felt transparent and raw. But here in this narrow bed, the dawn behaves differently, wrapping itself around us in muted colors, forgiving the mess on the floor, the unanswered messages, the failures folded into yesterday's clothes. And I think maybe this is what safety really is. Not an iron gate or a locked door, but a thin, breathing layer of softness between you and everything. Sharp, flimsy, but persistent, like that curtain that still holds, threadbare yet somehow enough. And as you shift closer in your sleep, your breath brushing my neck in quiet, uneven waves, I feel the usual panic rise and then dissolve under the gentle weight of this filtered brightness. And for once I do not race ahead into imagined losses or rehearse my exits. I just stay, letting the morning cover us in its fragile, forgiving glow a little longer. The arguments still hum in the drywall. The faint electric ghost pacing between the studs, where our voices crashed and scattered like dishes we somehow never threw. And now the room stands in the aftermath. Furniture slightly crooked, air still hot from all the words that never learned how to land gently. But over it all, the strange quiet has begun to drip, slow and steady from the ceiling corners, smoothing the sharp leftover syllables into harmless shapes that roll under the sofa and disappear. And I find you in the doorway, silhouette cut from the same heavy light that slants across the floor. Your shoulders no longer squared for battle, just tired, loose threads of resolve dangling at your sides. And between us stretches a space that could hold one more storm, or something else entirely, thin as the line where shadow surrenders to late afternoon. And I do not say I am sorry, not yet, but I breathe in shallow and let that breath stripped of armor so it can hover there without cutting you again. And you do not forgive me, not yet, but you lean against the frame instead of walking away, letting the silence soften in layers, like paint drying over an old cracked color. And as the minutes pile gently at our feet, I notice how the anger shrinks beneath the weight of everything we have decided quietly not to break. All the plays, all the pictures, all the fragile echoes of our first soft day, still standing, still waiting. And it hits me that sometimes mercy is nothing louder than this. Two people staying in the same imperfect room long enough for the heat to leave, without taking all the light with it. The couch sinks under us, a small, tired boat moored in the harbor of your living room. City light leaking through the blinds, impatient stripes that climb our legs and fade. And there is a blanket between our skin and the cooling air, thin as a promise made on a night like this. Not heavy enough to hide us, just enough to blur the borders where your warmth ends and mine begins. So every quiet shift becomes an ocean, each accidental brush of your knee, a tide that slowly rewrites the coastline of my restraint. And we talk about nothing, loose threads of stories unraveling across the cushions. Your laugh rising, falling, landing somewhere near my collarbone, where the air grows thick and slow. And I watch your hands describe invisible landscapes, sketches of roads you have not walked yet. And I pretend that my pulse is not following, every line mapping every curve like a secret pilgrimage, while above us the ceiling waits, patient as a witness, collecting our half-finished sentences like soft dust. And this ordinary evening leans closer, drizzling a hush over the spaces once filled with fear. So when your shoulder finally tips into mine, it does not crash, it simply settles, like a bird choosing a branch already bending with the wind. And I let my breath fall and step with yours, small, careful, unannounced, until the quiet thickens around us, not a silence of absence, but of arrival. And in that muted glow, I realize how little it takes to change the weather inside my chest.
exhale as the daylight thins. A pale hush folding over every restless corner where my scattered thoughts have been circling like tired birds against dusty glass. And I stay very still, afraid to wake the faint, forgiving shimmer that has settled between my ribs tonight. Not a wall, not a shield, but some translucent breath that lets the ache remain and yet softens every edge it touches, so my private storms can turn in place without tearing us again. And in this dim suspended space, I let your name drift past my lips without sound, watching it ripple through the air like a stone dropped into velvet water. Gentle rings widening, losing force before they reach the floor. And I remember every sharp word we left uncovered on the table, how they glittered like broken silver, dangerous and bright, until time and distance laid a thin calm over them, the way frost can make a shattered field seem whole from far away. And though nothing is fixed, not really, I'm learning how to breathe beneath this gauze of almost peace, how to feel completely without flooding, how to let the sorrow move through me like slow light through sheer fabric, bending, diffusing, never quite burning. So I close my eyes and let the evening lean closer, wrapping its cool, invisible weight around my shoulders. And for the length of one long, steady inhale, I believe that I can carry everything I am without cutting my hands on it, that I can want you, lose you, remember you, and still fall asleep untouched by the old familiar violence of my own